everyone, I'm going to show you how to make some bread. My father taught me, so if it doesn't taste good, his fault. Alright, here are the ingredients you pretty much need, but the secret ingredient is local honey. If you don't have local honey, do not use any store-bought processed honey. Alright, you need 2 cups of warm water. Temperature, just warm. Then you're going to need 1/3 cup of raw sugar. You get about 2 tablespoons of honey in there. Now, this is where it's at, 2 tablespoons of honey. Give that a good whisk, and it doesn't matter if you go over on the honey. Like I said, that's a secret ingredient. And you're going to add 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast to your mixture. And then once you get all that, you're going to give it a good little mix. All stirred up, and let it sit for about, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes.
I can't lie, I hate my life. Sometimes I wish I'd caught your eye.
Now, in the meantime, while that's sitting over there, you're going to get your bread flour or all-purpose flour. In my opinion, bread flour is where it's at. It's unbleached and it's enriched. But you're going to get 6 cups of that and go ahead and put it into your lard mixing bowl or a stand mixer if you have it. Stand mixer is not required. It just takes a lot of the elbow grease out of the work. Once you get your flour in there, you're going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of salt, any kind of salt, sea salt, it could be whatever, just the cheap stuff, it don't make a difference. Once you got your salt and your flour all in the bowl, you're gonna get you a half a stick of butter. Now this is homemade butter, so we gotta weigh it out. Half a stick of butter is 2 ounces of butter. And we're gonna get that melted and just stand it off to the side. All right, it's been about 7-8 minutes. Our yeast mixture is frothed up really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and add our butter into our mixture. And we're gonna add all of our yeast and water and sugar and honey. Get that poured up in there. Make sure you scrape that out. You ain't wasting that. That's a waste of money. Put that in there. Now you got everything in there. Go ahead and drop your mixer down. Just turn it on. Let it do its thing. Wait a minute. I'll show you what it looks like. You got it up like that. Get you a nice clean hand. And it's going to be sticky. Just go ahead and pull it down. And we may have to add some more flour. If it's really sticky, you're going to add some flour. And if it's really dry, you're going to add some water. All right, I got my little helper here. But you're going to just go ahead and get everything down the side once you got your hook and everything. And we're going to turn it back on and just cook it up. And go ahead and fire it back up until we get everything mixed up. And we'll see if we need to add some more flour. Does it look good, everything?
Yeah.
And what you're going to look for is seeing how it pulled everything down from the pan and make yourself a nice little dough. Now, while this mixes for a little bit longer, I'm going to get my pan ready. Show what you got to do with that. So you're going to spray your pan down with some vegetable oil, and then we're going to pull our dough out, and we're going to knead a little bit of flour in it so it's not so sticky. You're going to get your dough, you're going to throw it down, you're going to get everything out this bowl, because we ain't wasting. That's a waste of money. You're going to get your food. You're just going to get it nice and coated in flour. Once you get your dough nice and coated in flour, we're going to pick it up. I'm just going to plop it down in our bowl of vegetable oil. You're going to let it sit and rise for an hour. You're going to cover it with some saran wrap. All right, I got about 5 minutes left, and our dough has rose. Now, it's supposed to double in size, not triple. But when you get about 5 minutes left, I'm going to show you what you need to do to get your pans ready and for our next step. I'm going to get you 2 bread pans, and we're going to coat them in butter. I'm talking about the sides, I'm talking about the rim, everything. All right, got your pans all buttered up. Now, once again, I'm using homemade butter. Let me know if you want a video on that. It's delicioso. Now, we're going to set them off to the side. We're going to flour up our surface. We're going to throw our dough out, and we're going to separate it into 2 evenly slices. It's best if you have a scale, but you can just eyeball it. All right, you're gonna plop your dough out. Ooh. You just kind of work it in for a minute there. Get it nice and coated in flour. That way it's just easier to manage. And we got our scale right here. We're just gonna cut it in half. It ain't gotta be perfect. Rip it, tear it. All right, so this one, 835 grams. Now, I do know this can be pretty close, just from the times I've done this before. Alright, and then you just get a little bit off Throw it on there. Alright. A little bit more. That's 812. It's alright. You know, it ain't gonna be perfect. Just we're at 800. That should be good. And what you're gonna do, just let that one to the side. Throw it down, stretch it out. Want to make sure you don't have any air pockets in your bread, because it's going to show when you get it in the oven. It's going to pop. Once again, if you have any pockets, you can just pinch them closed. It's nice to get them nice and closed. And you kind of want to get your pan out and get it kind of close to the size of your pan, even-ish. It ain't got to be perfect. We're going to set it in there. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. We got our second one right here. Just shape it kind of to the pan. Plop it on in there. Now, this one could be a little better, but it's just bread. It ain't got to be perfect. I don't know this step and why my dad does it. He always gets a knife and he goes around the edge and he just kind of shapes it a little bit. I don't differentiate from the recipe. Whatever he does, I do. But you may not have to do this step. I just do it because he does it. We're going to do this. Shape them up a little bit more. Alright. Now we're going to let these rise for about 45 minutes. We're going to cover them with saran wrap. They're going to double in size. And we're going to throw them in the oven. With the saran wrap, just spray a little bit of vegetable oil on it. That way it doesn't stick too bad to the top. Just gonna let them sit off to the side in a nice warm area. Set for about 45 minutes. And we throw them in the oven. Alright, it's been about 25 minutes. And we look good. Alright, after about 25 minutes, we are good. Got a little crispy on the top, but you know, it ain't gonna hurt anything. Now the end secret to this recipe is you need to coat the top of these and the sides and everything in real butter. Makes them a lot better. If you're not going to use them right away, it's no big deal. Just don't wrap them. Butter and let them cool. Works better if you have a bread pan. Don't have one, so use it a pizza tray, elevated. Get some nice airflow through there. But while they're still hot, we're going to coat them with butter. We're going to see what they look like after that. All right, after you coat them with your butter, you just want to let them sit and rest. It's best if you have a nice, well-ventilated area. That way they get nice and dry-ish, and you don't want to cut into it right away. I understand they look good and delicious, but just let it rest, and you can enjoy.